land without her permission.
The BULLETIN Council today was at KwaZulu to inspect a disputed land between Inkosikazi Laqaba of the late Prince Nqaba and Mr. Solomon Albert Dlamini. The purpose of the inspection was to get boundaries of the land from both parties that are claiming the ownership of the land. The council was led by the chairman, Chief Mdlaka Kametse.
ukuthi ngubani lothatha indzawo yalomunye sitobuka nje tikhongwane bayasikhomba ke tikhongwane letinsha naletinzala nekuphikisana konke kukhona lapho kulaba sikhomba
bese kuna ndimanza kusekunakhiwe la ngemuva letakhiwe ngasilekela sikhombe ukuthi abantu
tinebaneka tile batsinzeka ko lapha kutsinzeka ulagwebe kutsinzeka cashata lenye indzaba tsokutaba lisontho lesikubonile kulendzawo lenekukhuluma
ingabe kumbe cishe sasile ukuthi uma ngabe sinengaboni ngesilinye ngemhlaba ngitiphi ingono kufuneka bathi hambe
indzawo temhlaba tiphele ngekwemithetho ngatiphelele emphakathi endlunkulu ngoba ngiyo indlunkulu leyatiko ngabe tiphelela emphakathi ngaphandle nangabe kuthiwa usoyayeleka phansi awulaleleke endlunkulu yakho ukhona ndaba zabantu.
Mr. Albert Dlamini said that he's very happy with the arrival of the council because a lot of people have been lying concerning the land.
Ngiyathokoza ukuthi ibandla lizenyathele kepha inqumbi yetinzo ingemanga abantu labangadi labakhombe etinza ukuthi ijuba bayila la ngiyati qomi ngoba namakhosi kade athunyelwa kimi la bekete la khaya ngiyakhona futhi umnyaka wa 80 ubona bakhuluma bo 80 futhi inkosi bendele nale mephu yemanga bathi drebele bona emanga lemephu akusiyo futhi imephu yalo baya bayidweba bona lokho ngiyakuphikisa nje vele all together.
Priest Zabulemanti Dlamini, the son of the late Prince Nqaba Dlamini, said that they are now leaving everything with the council.
Siyalibonga lelifuba lenisiniketa lona cha siyathokoza ukuthi ekuhambe kwafika nalapha sibonge nalo libandla lenkosi lisike phasi letanga lapha nakhona ukuthi litawubona tikhongwane sibonge ke nalaba labanye labefikile sethemba uNkulunkulu nje ukuthi awu imphumela yakhona itawuhamba ibe ngilengiyo
la vedile elibet namkhulumisana naye ukuthi kude imap netikhongwane konke kungemanga
ngabe sengaphela libandla lapho ngoba ngilo lifike lapha nje lithunywe ngiyo ingosi ukuthi litawubona sithinele sesitakusho nje sisesikubeke ebandleni sesitawuva ngapha.
For Yemaswati channel, I'm Gary Carlos, KwaZulu.
The Ministry of Commerce held a workshop on industrial development. Now, the workshop's aim is to help officers improve and advance the country through industrial development policy. The workshop is set to run from today up until Friday.
Ngekusita ku-review policy yethu yakangwane industrial development policy, which was designed and formulated in 2015. And it was due for a review this year in 2022. And the workshop shothi ngomhlangano wesikole lohlanganise ematiko lahlukene labuke tingcenye letinye industrial development. As you know, industrial development is not just in one ministry but it's on several.
And now we go over to the High Court, where outside the courts today, a clash between the police and supporters of the two incarcerated members of parliament ensued.
Njengoba ngisho nje ukuthi we have agreed ukuthi ngale ngesheya mase sifike kulo hulumende lokhulekile, they would be next to us. And they will always be next to us. Yeah, like it or not, we should. Like it or not, we are going for the change.
Kuchubekile namhla kutekwa kwalelicala la bahlonishwa lababili lababekwe emacala ephekula sikhuni libe likaze lichubeka inkantolo lenkulu ngaphambi kweMamse Dlamini. Kanti echubeka kwekutekwa kwalelicala bekade kuthulwa ke yona ivideo lebufakazi ba umbuso.
Today was the continuation of the
case for the two incarcerated members of parliament before High Court Judge Mamsi Dlamini. The presenting of a video continued where Golan Masego was speaking before the new video was introduced. On the new video, Honorable Mabuza reminded the nation that he is a member of parliament and was representing the people of ESWATINI. On the video, Honorable Mabuza said he cannot allow the current government to mislead Yemaswati by taking the country back to Dongi Isako, where it was led by foreign people. He said the country was coming through its constitution. He said there were certain things that one could not just do because they will contradict with the constitution. Mabuza said they will not move even an inch from the call for an elected prime minister with executive powers. He further said the prime minister should be up. Mabuza said they will not move an inch from the call for an elected prime minister with executive powers. He further said the prime minister should appoint his own cabinet, which will not consult to the reality. Mabuza further said the acting prime minister is wrong to stop petitions that he has never called for. He said what was done by the acting prime minister was not constitutional. Honorable Mabuza said they cannot listen to the government who came like rain as they were complaining about her. On the video clip, Honorable Mabuza said no one has the right to control Yemaswati. He said even the acting prime minister was not God, that he can just tell the masses what to do and what not to do. The OCA member of parliament said as an elected member of parliament by the people and for the people, he cannot entertain what was being done by government. He said government should not stop the delivery of petitions as she has not launched it. Mabuza also stated that members of parliament were banned from media houses, but he was surprised that there was one MP who was in sympathy with the current government who was given a chance to mislead Yemaswati. He said this was unfair because he will never get such an opportunity to explain their concept. Mr. Mtutuzi Makaukawo Simelane was the next speaker for today's video. Simelane said the Prime Minister was using the COVID-19 as a tool to oppress Yemaswati. He said the country was not anybody's home. He said it's government by laws. Simelane said freedom of Yemaswati. Mr. Mtutuzi Simelane was the next speaker for today's video. Simelane said the Prime Minister was using the COVID-19 as a tool to oppress Yemaswati. He said that the country was not anybody's home. He said it's governed by laws. Simelane said freedom of assembly and that of association was entrenched in the constitution. Simelane said the delivery of petition was entrenched in the standing orders that the public can deliver them to their MPs and to parliament. Mr. Simelane said the acting prime minister should not act like in his own home, where he will just wake up and give out instructions on what to be done and what not to be done. The former member of parliament said his people will be bringing their petition on that Saturday and he will be awaiting it in the constituency. Simelane said he was encouraging the nation as the acting prime minister was testing their strength on what they were saying. The court was then adjourned. We'll resume tomorrow at 9:30. I'm Kimbali Mavus of Channel Yemaswati News in Babane. Kubena ngcukutana lokukhulu lomhla enkantolo enkulu emkhathini webalandzeli labahlonishwa lababili lababoshelwa emacala ephekulwa sikhuni njengoba bangcubutene nawo amaphoyisa ngaphandle kwenkantolo labo bekade
During the proceeding of the case of the jailed members of parliament in the High Court today in Mbabane, protesters continued to be manned outside the court's gate, where they sang songs and chanted different slogans. It took a turn to be different today after the completion of the case, where members of parliament were expected to be transported out of the High Court as supporters blocked the way that led members of His Majesty's Correctional Services to the main road, where they are expected to return to Matapa Correctional Facility. The protesters continue to make means of entering court, which showed it to be an illegal act. Police kept their calm and made a wall preventing the protesters from entering court. They resolved to take another route, which is Mangwanene Road, so that the incarcerated members of parliament could be transported out of court, as the protesters were blocking the way. One of the senior police officers pleaded with the lawyers of the two members of parliament who are incarcerated to give a word of warning to the protesters not to continue such an act of violence, as they will be stopped from coming to court to show their support to the members of parliament. The case is expected to continue tomorrow, even though it is uncertain if police will allow the protesters to be outside court after the commotion that took place today. Linda Shawet, Kimberly Mavuso, High Court, Mbabane.
From the ad break, let's get right back into our bulletin. But before we do, another message from WaterAid reminding Yemaswati to continue to adhere to all COVID protocol and guidelines, set in place by the government. Yemaswati, you are reminded to continue to wash your hands, to sanitize, and to practice social distancing in order to curb the spread of COVID-19. Let's get right back into our bulletin with our story. The Junior Achievement ESWATINI announced the appointment of a new chairman of the board. Meluleki Dlamini accepted and expressed his gratitude for his new position today. Junior Achievement ESWATINI announced the appointment of a new chairman. This was announced by outgoing board chair Mage Nothando Dlamini.
Namuhla ke ngithanda kwethula ukuthi njengoba achazile iDWEC phethile ukuthi sengi outgoing awungisayopheka kakhudlana amabhoda kaDlamini ngicela kwethula namuhla la eministry ukuthi ka Junior Achievement sibese ibody ihlalile yabona yakhetha board chair omusha and ngicela ukuthula babe Meluleki Dlamini ukuthi ngiboard chair omusha waka Junior Achievement. Siyabonga babe Meluleki kuvuma ukuthi usite lapha ka Junior Achievement siqhubeke sisayiqhubekisela embili le organization. Siyethemba ukuthi kukhona lokusha lesawuqhubeka sikufunze sasifunzile sihamba nawe la boardini. But buholi bakho kukhona lokunye lesawuqhubeka sikufunze.
The new board chairman, Meluleki Dlamini, welcomed his position and stated that he would continue to advance all programs already underway during his tenure.
We are the outgoing chair we still have a mandate to grow this program as we extend even countrywide, so it is one of the mandates. Let's talk to us and I hope all the organizations and stakeholders are just supporting this initiative. So everyone will be ambassador of this program and others that will be born out of this program. So see, it is not something that starts itawuhlala nje ingakhuli and iphinze futhi lendlela so lingakhona. We're hoping that we'll come up with new ideas lesingabona ukuthi ingaba inhle kanjani iphinze ibe inkulu. So that is the goal that we're aiming to achieve with the team Yaga Junior Achievement and also nama stakeholders lesebenza nabo.
Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Abongile Mabuza, Zandile Mpapane Mbaban. A man who worked as a transport operator for BULLETIN says that he was left both shocked and puzzled after he and his 3 vehicles were barred from entering the premises. A transport operator formerly hired at BULLETIN claims to have been unfairly treated after he was barred from entering the company premises. George Dombo says while he isn't completely certain of the reasons behind the ban, he has suspicions that it may have to do with a new business he opened in Ngoyoyo. George Dombo claimed that his wife also suffered a hostile working atmosphere when she was employed at BULLETIN.
Isusu ukuthi emva kwekubeni ngizame ukukhulisa le ngapane yami bese ngikhulisa ngivula emathuba ebantu labasha shothi kahle kahle sengivule nami ihardware lapha embolonjeni. Awu banele kuva abantu bala building labaphathi le management yakhona seba ngivalela ke nyalo la kan transport bathi mina ngisavumelelekanga ukuthi imoto tami ngaloko ukuthi sengivule ibusiness ehardware atisavumelelekanga ukuthi ngithe ngitolayisha ema customer le business lebengiyenda. Cha ngidabamfisha babe shothi mako akamvela besebenta la building ngemva kwekuthi babe nekuklashana sikhathi lesithe nalo floor manager Mr Hillary shothi bekane kumphatha kabi for a very long time amniketa ema warning ngalesinye isikhathi nje ambite blapha phambi kwebantu nangabe kumbe khona la konini. So ugcine athi ke makwa kami hey babe ngicela kusale ngeresign emsebentini because into lesengiyibona ngidawuphetha ngifile.
We spoke to BULLETIN's head of human resources who stated that the company had enforced their right of admission. Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Abongile Mabuza with Kimberly Mavuso, Mbaban. The African entertainment industry was hit with the shocking news of the passing of popular hip-hop artist Ricky Rick. Now, the famous artist took his own life after an apparent struggle with depression. Son, husband, father, brother, and uncle Ricardo Ricky Rick Mercado sadly passed away in the early hours of this morning in Johannesburg. Affectionately known as Ricky Rick across the globe, he was deeply loved by his family, friends, and the entire entertainment industry. His love for family, friends, and the community was well known. Ricky's nurturing and developing of young musical talent is well documented and will be forever remembered. He leaves behind his wife, 2 children, his mother, and 5 siblings. Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Yemaswati, Ngoyoyo. 3 brilliant young girls from BULLETIN High School are set to represent the country in the Junior Achievement Africa competition starting tomorrow. Now, the event is going to be a virtual one this year due to COVID, and the girls are confident of a sure win.
Today at the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade in Mbabane, there was a send-off ceremony of Lamasango High School students in collaboration with Junior Achievement ESWATINI. The team won the National Company of the Year competition last year, December, and their company manufacture and install small in-pipe turbine generators which produce electricity using water. Speaking during the send-off ceremony, the representative of the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade mentioned that they are very proud of the students, further stating that it is encourageable that students start businesses even in school.
The creation of the entrepreneurship ecosystem is no more a dream as such, and the program kickstarts the process where students are given an opportunity to explore innovations whilst being taught the skills of running a business. May I take this opportunity to appreciate teachers, facilitators, parents for the support they've given to the students.
The representative of the Correctional Services mentioned that what Lamasango High School is doing is very recommendable as they are really rehabilitating the students through education.
So that's why I'm really proud as Correctional Services. Ngokuthi basendele lokuhle le team yaka JA lekhona lesenzo kwakho US thina sikholela ukuthi i-rehabilitation mbamba is through education.
The product lesibenayo itaba imphendule tintweni letinenge sikhona ukuqhamuka nesystem lekhona kuphehla gesi ngemanti empompi.
We are living here with a wealth of knowledge and we will always treasure it. Working with JA ESWATINI has been a fantastic experience and we are thankful for the knowledge we have acquired. Working with JA ESWATINI has been a fantastic experience and we are thankful for the knowledge we have acquired.
Worth noting is the fact that the team will have to be part of the competition virtually due to COVID-19. I am Zandile Mpapane for Channel Yemaswati News with Abongile Mabuza and Xolis Mavuso, Mbabane.
With graduations at universities and colleges around the country, our team thought it best to shine some light on the subject of post-grad youth unemployment. We spoke to Sthembiso Dlamini, who gained attraction last year for his own struggles with unemployment after graduation.
Channel Yemaswati spoke to Sthembiso Dlamini about the current state of affairs as far as youth unemployment. Dlamini gained attention last year after he was spotted around traffic lights in Baban with a placard detailed with his qualifications. Dlamini gave an encouraging word to the youth of Eswatini. He stated that young people should take action, come together, and find ways to help build one another through business.
To survive as young people, the bottom line is we must put food on the table. Gufuna sibhadale ma bills, gufuna siphile emakhaya sibhekile basigadzile. Kukhona tinhlavana letincane lesingatiphika nakusona le speech noma siva ukuthi indzaba unemployment ayidekwa kahle, but if i-corporate tax incipha kukhona i-advantage lesingayithatha lokusho ukuthi asihambeni vele emsakadi siyomnyetelana emabhizinisini bani labasha ababuye babumbane sihlanganiseni lama skills lesibuya nawo kuma tertiary institutions labanye basuka kuma TVET colleges asibiyeni sihlanganiseni bani labasha lama skills skills lesinawo sibonene lokho ukuthi yini lesingaphuma nayo lokunye nje lokuningi buta lenzaba lena ngiyamangala. There is a poster lelapha lengisaba kuyikhipha ngoba niyathi ukuthi kulamalanga Timothy. I want to address the issue of how do we survive in this next financial year. I mean, we must survive. So ideally,
Dlamini also voiced his hope for the government to be more proactive as far as assisting university students and new graduates with opportunities of employment.
Angilithengi kulomnye umuntu ngilithenga kuzandile Mpapane kulokunye ngikuthenga la kumabuza kumbe ingcibo mavuso ngiyathi ukuthi uthengisa kumbe inyama. We understand si trade among ourselves, si create in lapho ke saka our own economy and embrace the informal side of the economy. We understand abantu labasha even educated sesifunzile. Let us come and build our own economy. If usishaywa ngema taxes ngala ka formal asibuyeni phela sithathe advantage of the informal side of the economy.
Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Abongile Mabuza, Zandile Mpapane and Kimberly Mavuso, Ngoyoyo.
The Umhluma Foundation expressed its intention to continue to lobby for widows' rights. Now, the foundation would like for government to put in place legislation to assure that the rights of widows are preserved.
Umhluma Foundation says that it is a priority to them to lobby the government to make sure that there are legislations that will guarantee widows' rights, especially to make sure that their land are not taken away from them when their husbands are late.
Lapho besonsa khona tindzaba solili vele ikakhulu tindzaba the land grabbing tihambile ke tindzaba tatekwa daze tafika la iphela inako sesicatha khona kuya ku community losokuseleke manje ukuthi sitrain ema paralegals and after logo sesitawuqala ke manje ke sesilobhisha ukuthi awuqale kwendiwe umthetho lobukele ema issues ebafelokati and nemalungelo abo esiswatini ukuthi banake umhlaba ugcinwe under emagama alabafelokati no sibaqhubeke nje vele lama rights abo ema inheritance baba enjoy as constitution issue. I-response yinhle kakhulu and iyakhombisa ukuthi kunalesi sidingo lesikhulu lefuna ukuthi sendiwe ngendzaba yemalungelo ebafelo kade naku even kuyo onke ama aspects nje naku empilo naku impilo kade kuzafuna ukuthi lokho kwente because sikuvele sekuvela netinye tindzaba balabatukulu babafelo kade titifete kutalwa bede labanye abazange bathola inheritance rights abanye fana because titifete naku tekutalwa bede nalothu nje titifete kude lo mfana lo shothi usede buve sathola kuletinye tindzawo la solo khona ukuthi vele la ma facilities ahulumende like ibo home affairs bakhashane siyathi bagibeleka kathathu bantu bothwala ama services lawo ngilokunye lesikhanza ukuthi ku discourage labo lesibathathene ukuthi basithena ngeSwati ukuthi titifete demteko vele babebede so nakhona ke sengilenye iprogram lefuna ukuthi masinyane ikhulunyiswe ku encourage and kulobhisho le office la home affairs ukuthi liye lapho kulethe tinkhundla lethi khashana kakhulu emadolobha ukuthi bantu bathole certificate tabo.
For Yemaswati Channel Mkeri Carlos Luanhle.
Well, that's all we have for you this evening, but before we leave you, let's take a recap of our headlining stories. The Ministry of Home Affairs' mopping project was launched in Shiselweni. The Lutitini Council took to land owned by Inkosikati Lagaba for inspection, and a commotion ensued between police and supporters of the two incarcerated members of parliament. Well, thank you for joining us, Eswatini. I hope you enjoyed this news bulletin. Until next time, have a good one, Eswatini.
This weather forecast is proudly brought to you by FSRA.